Hey guys, so today I'm going to be trying on my Sephora VIB Sale haul. I hauled it for you, I think on Wednesday. Anyway, in my previous video, and I just got a lot of like awesome goodies. So I'm going to be playing with the new Fenty Beauty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint, and I do have it in the shade number 3. I have the Kosas Airbrow. I have a lot of really random lippies. I have a sheer one from Guerlain, 2 Dior Addict lip glows here. I think I'm definitely more curious about the Dior ones than the Guerlain. Some new Tower 28 stuff. I did purchase the Luminous Silk Glow Fusion powder from Armani in a new shade. I have 4. I got 2, which I think is more appropriate for me. And some other goodies that we'll fill in with. So, before we jump into the makeup, I do just want to give you guys a little bit of an update. So the Dyson Airwrap, if you guys watched that video, my haul video, you know, I had a little bit of a debacle with that. No big deal. So I actually went around to like all the sites that I could like figure out and like find that had the Airwrap. So Ulta was completely out of it. I checked all the Sephora stores here in my neighborhood. They were all out of it. So Best Buy actually popped up and it was available, like 1 or 2 were available at all of the Best Buys in my neighborhood. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I called, they set one aside for me. I'm gonna go in store and pay. I was gonna do the curbside pickup, but I was actually talking to my friend here, Kelsey Brianna J, and she said they price match. She's like, just go in there with the Sephora price and they'll price match it for you. So I just had them set it aside for me. And after I'm done filming, I'm gonna run and get it and hopefully get the 20% off price that Sephora would have extended me. So I'm really, really excited. I'm excited that I found it. It was just fun to like have it pop up when I searched for it on Google. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in with the Fenty Eavesdrop Blurring Skin Tint in number 3. So I'm just looking on the box here to see if they have any recommendations as to how to apply it. Fingers, brush, sponge. It doesn't say. So I'm just going to use a brush, which is what I normally use. This is a screw off top. It has like a little pointy tip here. I'm going to squeeze some out onto the back of my hand. It has a nice light texture. You can see it's very slowly running down the back of my hand. I mean, barely. So it has like a nice creamy texture. I am going to use my Fupa brush from Koyudo. I don't remember the exact number. It's like the Fupa 02. Anyway, I'll list it down below in the description box, but this is a great little foundation brush. And I'm just going to pick some of the foundation up and start at my cheeks here. Ooh, really, really light coverage. You guys know I like a light medium coverage, or you may not know, but I prefer a light medium kind of coverage foundation. I'm not really into the heavier coverage foundations. So it's the main reason why I purchased this one. It really sounded like something I was going to enjoy. Oh, I was leaning on my face. I was wondering what these marks were. All right, there is one light layer on this half of my face. I completely forgot. I usually just put it on half of my face so that we can compare. But the coverage is very, very light. I mean, that's very, very obvious. I think what's interesting to me is that this actually has a matter foundation than I thought. It doesn't say anything that it's going to be radiant or anything like that, but I don't know, I think because it was, you know, blurring, it's lightweight, it's light coverage. I don't know, I just thought it was going to have a little bit of luminosity, but it's actually pretty mattifying. But I also like foundations with a teensy bit of luminosity. I can appreciate a matte foundation, and in the summertime definitely is a lot more welcome for me than it is in the fall winter. But I don't know, just kind of a preconceived notion that I have. This is just a little bit different than what I thought it was going to be. I'm going to apply a little bit more. I want to see if the coverage is buildable. I also want to see if I can get more of a blur, if you will, more of like that filtered effect, which I think the name of this suggests it gives you. Yeah, blurring skin tint. So far I'm not really seeing that. All right, there it is all over. And I'm gonna grab a mirror and just take a really close inspection here. So my first observation is it's not actually sitting on the tip of my nose very well, which is generally a problematic area. It almost looks like it's kind of powdery on the tip of my nose. So that is interesting. I don't really see like a blurring effect This just looks like a very light coverage foundation with kind of like a demi matte finish. That's how I would describe this foundation. I don't see any blurring to it. It's nice. It's nice for sure. But so far I don't find this very special. I just think it's nice. I prefer my NARS Pure Radiant Tinted Moisturizer. I prefer that more. I like the Givenchy Prism Libre, that skin caring foundation. I like that one more than this. Well, if you guys have tried this foundation, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. I think people really love this foundation. And again, while I think it's very nice, I don't think my face looks particularly filtered or blurred or anything like that. You know what this is very similar to? The Glossier Skin Tint. That's what this is very, very similar to. The texture, the bottle, the way it looks on my skin, that is what this reminds me of. If anything, this one is matter than the Glossier Skin Tint. But the Glossier Skin Tint isn't necessarily like radiant either. That one just has more of like a skin-like finish, where this one, at least for me, it's like matting down my skin. And I do have dry, sensitive skin, just FYI. Yeah, but if you guys have tried this, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. All right, I did not pick up a new concealer, so I'm just gonna throw on my Dior Forever Skin Correct concealer in 2N. And it is really time for me to let this bottle go. We're pretty much down to the very bottom, and I've had this bottle now for more than a year. So I think I need to let this go. In fact, I should purchase a new one during the sale, which is still going on. Maybe I'll do that. All right, so let me go ahead and blend this in, and we'll be back to play with the Armani Luminous Silk Powder. All right, here is the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder. This is shade number 2. And let me just do a swatch for you. I mean, it's skin tone, so you're not really gonna see it, but it does have a slight sheen to it, which I'm hoping the camera will pick up. It's right here. Slight sheen. So I did mention when I hauled this that I thought it would make a very good, very subtle kind of highlight. Like if your makeup style is on the more subtle side, I do think that this powder would make a really great subtle highlight. So I am going to brush this all over my face though. I'm not gonna just highlight with it. Yeah, this foundation it's not sitting well on my skin. It's like kind of coming up and looking a little bit dry over here, like around my eyebrows and stuff. Okay. Anyway, back to the powder. I'm going to go ahead and use my Sonia G Smooth Buffer, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of powder and just stamp that on my face. And I will just apply this to half of my face so you guys can see the finish of it compared to no powder. All right, so there it is. I think you can probably see the sheen right there on my cheekbone. It's really very pretty. This is almost like the pressed powder version of that Lancome Absolute powder. They have matte versions, but they do also have like shimmery versions. So Absolute Pesh is the one that I'm talking about. It has like, you can probably actually even see it in the bottle there. Do you see that satin sheen? That's what it leaves on your skin, and it's very, very similar to this. So if you are a fan of that kind of sheen, you will really like this Luminous Silk Glow Fusion Powder. It is really quite similar. If you're into like buffing in your powder, you're gonna get a very similar effect. So here it is with, hope you can see the sheen there. And then here it is without, no sheen, just foundation. All right, I'm just gonna apply to the rest of my face. And this is definitely a powder that, this is gonna sound bad, but hopefully I can explain myself. So this is a powder that is definitely on the heavier side. Most times I like a setting powder that is just kind of translucent, just sort of mattifies things and is very imperceptible on the skin. It almost doesn't look like you did anything other than maybe mattify your skin after you put foundation on. So I really like loose powders that do that. They have just a very kind of skin-like finish. This powder definitely leaves a visible trace. You know, it not only does it have that highlight, but there are different shades of this. And like I mentioned, I do have shade 4, and it does add a little bit of like depth to my skin tone. So there is like pigment to this. There is a sheen to it. So it's like it's just like a heavier look of a powder. Not that I think your makeup looks heavy necessarily, but there's more of an impact with this powder than something that's just, you know, setting down your makeup. That's what I mean by heavy. I don't think it necessarily makes your makeup look heavy. It just has like a stronger impact on your whole makeup look. I hope that makes sense. But for someone like me who really likes, you know, very kind of like light, natural kind of makeup look, this is something that I notice, and this is something I definitely want to point out to you guys if you are like me and and like a lighter kind of makeup look. So anyway, this is the powder all over my face. I just love it. Like I said, I usually, you know, I have dry skin, so I like a little bit of luminosity to my makeup. Okay, so that is the powder. And then I did end up getting a couple of cream products. I don't mind putting cream products over my powder products, but because I was just talking about how this powder does have like a little bit more impact, I wonder how these cream products are going to work over it. So I did pick up the Tower 28 Bronzino in Suncoast, which is the lightest shade. It's really, really beautiful. So here is the packaging and here is the shade. Let me just do a quick swatch for you. It is very, very light and peachy, which I think would also make a really beautiful blush. But I'm going to use it as bronzer because I do have a Tower 28 blush that I purchased during the sale as well. So when it comes to applying cream over powder, which again, I don't really mind, I feel like as I'm applying the cream, it's like setting down automatically, but I do think it only works if you use a light hand. So if you have a lot of powder down and you go in with a lot of cream product, it just becomes kind of messy. So I am going to be careful because this is more powder than I would normally use. Like I said, I usually just kind of brush it on lightly. So I'm just going to pick a little bit up with my finger here and I'm just going to tap just really, really gently. And generally what saves me when I use cream over powder is this tapping motion because you're not really disturbing anything, you're not kind of gliding over it. But sometimes with the tapping, you can lift the product underneath up with your finger with the product that you're trying to lay down. So that's something I like to look for. You'll just start to see like your skin will start to look kind of patchy. So there is the bronzer right there. Really, really beautiful. It's very, very subtle, but it's such a beautiful tone. I really like when bronzers are light. I really like them to kind of lean towards peach versus any other shade. I just think it's so flattering because again, it kind of looks like a blush in a way. And then here's without. So there's that warmth there. But I'm going to take a close look and just see if it kind of messed with the powder or the foundation underneath. I don't think so. I think it's laying on top actually really smoothly. These Tower 28 cream products are so good, like so good. I was really nervous about putting this over the Armani powder because I put so much down, but it looks fine. It looks really nice. And I like the subtlety there. It's really pretty. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Doing another close mirror check. Yep, everything looks good. Oh, how pretty. I like that. I'm going to put some down my nose here. Give me a little bit of a sun-kissed look. Ooh, really nice. I like how subtle that is. It's almost like you don't even notice it in that one spot, but my entire complexion just looks a little bit more bronzy. And all I did was put it here, a little bit on my forehead, a little bit down the bridge of my nose, and that's it. Oh, nice. So again, that's the Tower 28 Bronzino in Suncoast. Really, really beautiful. So I did also pick up another one of their Beach Please Luminous Tinted Balms, and this is in the shade Golden Hour. This was the one shade that I did not have, and I got so many comments, I think, when I showed my Tower 28 collection, and so many comments saying, like, Golden Hour is the best one. Like, what are you doing? So I had to pick this up. So the Golden Hour is on the more corally side. There it is swatched. Ooh, wow. I'm going to look very summery today. Let me just tap some on right here. Yep, going on top of the powder beautifully. Again, just tapping, no swiping. So there's Golden Hour applied. So bright and beautiful. So, so lovely. God, these Tower 28 blushes, every single shade is gorgeous. All right, and next up for highlight, I didn't realize that all of the cheek products that I purchased were either cream or liquid, but I did purchase the Danessa Myricks Illuminating Veil Liquid Highlighter in the shade Serenity. And I am going to use this today. And this is a very strong highlight. So here is a swatch of it there. I'm giggling because it's so unbelievably smooth and metallic. It is so, so beautiful. And I have been using more subtle highlights lately. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my God. It's like I forgot like how bright highlighters could be. Anyway, I'm going to actually just take what is on this swatch here. Just tap a little bit onto my cheekbone. I am going to be using a bright eyeshadow palette, so I don't need to be too shy when it comes to highlight. I think it'll actually go nicely. But yeah, I mean, I'm using like the littlest bit. You probably can't even see it on my finger. I'm using like the littlest bit. And this product does like set down a bit. I can kind of feel it on the back of my hand. It's not completely transfer proof, but it's not going to stay like gooey on your cheeks, which is great. I do not like gooey cheek products. And same with the Tower 28. As emollient as it looks and feels in the pan, it actually sets down really, really nicely. All right, there is the Illuminating Veil on. I'm just realizing it's going to take me forever to go through this bottle because I needed the littlest bit. Wow, so beautiful though. I love that sheen. And the shade of this is the perfect like pinky, peachy, like it's not too warm, it's not too cool. It's just perfect. So what I'm noticing now that I've actually applied it to my cheeks, and so it's like thinned out a little bit from my swatch, which was pretty thick, there are definitely some micro glitters in here, which I'm not always the biggest fan of, but they're not micro glitters that are in like too much of a different shade. It's like the same match as the metallic sheen, so they don't stand out too much. But they're there. They're definitely there. If you're not a fan of micro glitters, I don't think you're gonna like this Illuminating Veil. But it's fairly subtle. Fairly subtle. Okay, next up, I'm really excited for this, but this is the Kosas Air Brow, and I got it in the shade Brown Black, and I've heard really good things about this, and I've had very, very good luck with brow products over the past few months, and you guys know I've been just a die-hard Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel fan. It is still number one. It is still number one for me. But there are a lot of like close seconds now, including the Merit Brow Pomade. Oh my God, what's happening? Woo! Okay, that was a struggle. Here is the Air Brow, again in Brown Black. And I swatched this on my hand for you guys when I hauled it. And I was so excited because the color looks good, but also the formula looks like just right. I think the secret to a great brow pomade, brow gel, is that it's not too wet. And this one looks like it's on the drier side. So I'm really, really excited. I don't have anything in my brows, no pencil or anything. I'm just gonna go right in with this brow gel. Oh, did I show you the spoolie? The spoolie is like a typical brow spoolie. It's on the smaller side. It's not quite as microscopic as like the Charlotte Tilbury. It's like a typical one, except I don't know if you guys are gonna see, it's shaped like a triangle. That's kind of cool. Okay, let's brush this in. Ooh, wow. Wow, okay. This has more impact than the Merit Brow Pomade. The Merit Brow Pomade is definitely more on the natural side, casual, just kind of like an everyday look. This is everyday as well, but like that one's like a little bit more like no makeup. Again, the one thing that this is missing that the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel has are those little fibers. And I like the little fibers because I do have like weird patches in my brows and it really fills those in. So this doesn't do as good of a job with that, but if you don't have a little patchiness in your brows, you don't need that. This would be good enough. Wow, this is really nice though. And I like the texture. It's definitely making my brows behave, but it's not stiff or crackly in any way. Nice. Okay. I like this. And I'm so happy that I like it and it's different from the Merit Brow Pomade. It really does have, I think, a lot more pigment. I think it's more impactful, like I was saying. So it's nice. I like having like these options. I still like my Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel though. Like I said, it just fills in what I need because my brows can be very sparse in some areas. And I like that it just fluffs it all up. But this is very nice. Awesome. Kosas Air Brow. All right. This color is really good for me. Brown, black. All right. For eyes, we're going to be using the Natasha Denona Circo Loco palette. She was kind enough to send this to me in PR, and I am, well, one, I'm intimidated. I'm very intimidated because, as you guys may know, this is not in my wheelhouse. This is not a typical Michele palette, but there are definitely shades in here that really call to me, like this shade down here, the silver shade called Aerialist. Snow Cone looks so beautiful. This gold looks really beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it's gorgeous. And I think it would make for a really beautiful, like, auxiliary palette if you want to just add a little bit of color. Like even this Razzle Dazzle, look how pretty that is. You know, these colors definitely out of my out of my comfort zone. Like this one in the center, definitely out of my comfort zone. So I'm not going to go too crazy today, but I do definitely want to use Aerialist because this looks just absolutely gorgeous. But let me go ahead and do swatches of everything for you. So I'm going to go, yeah, I'm just going to go from left to right, top to bottom. The first shade is Firework, which is a creamy matte, a vibrant orange. Next is Razzle Dazzle, which is a sparkling metallic. It's a vibrant fuchsia. Acrobat is a creamy powder, which is a cobalt blue. Next is Snow Cone, which is a metallic. It's a frosty sky blue. Cotton Candy, which is a creamy matte. It's an icy pastel pink. Electric, which is a royal blue. That's a metallic shade. Grin is also a metallic shade. That's a vintage gold. Cannon is a metallic shade. That's a vibrant bronze. Flip is a metallic shade. It's an electric medium teal. And Fun to Mime is a creamy powder aqua pastel blue. Spiral is a metallic orange. Magic is a creamy matte. It's a vibrant purple blue. Aerialist is a sparkling metallic. It's a frosty pastel lavender. Act is a metallic shade. It's a deep, vibrant violet. And Joker is a creamy matte. It's a vibrant pink. So those are the 15 shades in here. They're all brand new shades. This palette is limited edition. Okay, I'm gonna go in with Aerialist. I'm gonna put that in my inner corners and over onto like the center portion of my lid. So I'm gonna start with a small eyeshadow brush. This is Wayne Goss number 20 brush. And I know this was part of a set. I can't remember which set it is, but anyway, it's number 20. I'm gonna go into Aerialist and apply this to, like I said, the inner corner and bring it over onto the center of my lid. I love the little bit of lavender in this silver shade. It's so cool because you can only see it at certain angles and then it's like, oh, is it like the base? Is it part of the metallic sheen? It's really, really neat. I am just going to take the same brush and go into Act, which is this intense bluish purple metallic shade, and pick up just the teensiest bit. And I'm going to stamp that on the outer corner of my eye there. Kind of leaving this area blank. So I'm just kind of framing everything out a little bit here. All right, let's see if I can even that up a little bit. All right, I left like this area kind of blank because I wanted to put a different color in there, but I just don't know what. I'm really tempted by this Snow Cone, but I'm afraid it's very similar to Aerialist, but I think that may be okay. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna actually use my finger for this. I'm just going to grab a little bit of Snow Cone. This is that like metallic light blue shade. Wow. And I'm just gonna tap this. Ooh, a little over aerialist, a little over act, just to kind of blend it all in. Okay, I'm going to take a clean brush. This is the Wang 19 brush, and blend those edges. I don't think I've ever worn eyeshadow quite this vibrant before. Maybe when I've played with Pat McGrath, but this is so pastel and metallic. Wow. I'm gonna take my ESUM S33. I'm gonna grab Cotton Candy. I think it's too cool toned for me, but let's see. And I'm just dragging it along the top edge here, up towards my brow. Oh, neat. It actually kind of looks a little lilac on my skin and then next to these colors. I hope you guys can see it. It's really subtle, but it's very, very pretty. It's this very cool toned pink, almost lilac color up here along my brow bone. That's pretty. I'm realizing, looking at myself, I need to put something on the lower lash line. This is too top heavy right now. So I think I'm going to take this opportunity and use Magic, which is the matte, sort of like the matte version of this shade. And I'm going to use my Sonia G Pencil 1 brush, and I'm just dragging it along my lower lash line. All right, well, this is definitely an out of my comfort zone kind of eye look. I will admit, this is not something I would wear every day or even often, but wow, what fun. What fun. I love Natasha Denona shadows. I just think they're so easy to work with, and they just always perform so beautifully. Okay, I'm gonna stop staring at myself and curl my eyelashes, put on some mascara. I don't have any new mascara, right? I don't think I have any new mascara. And then we will come back and play with some of these new lip products that I got. The Dior, the Guerlain, I think that's it, right? I've already lost track. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll be right back. All right, I feel like with this eye look, I'm gonna need a bold lip, and I just have all of these sheer lips, but that's okay, we're just gonna go with it. So the Dior Addict Lip Glows. Actually, let me start with the Guerlain Kiss Kiss, because I wanna end with the Dior. So Guerlain has this, what do they actually call it? It's a plumping shine, 24-hour hydrating floral care lip color. So it's like a tinted balm or a sheer lipstick, if you will. I did not realize it was going to have a floral scent to it, which I am not a fan of, but this shade that I got is so beautiful. It's 109 Lily Caress. And I just love this like cool tone nude. I definitely can still smell it. I feel like I taste it a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to wear this. Yeah, it's not my favorite. It is pretty strong. If that doesn't bother you, you're not gonna be bothered by this, but I can kind of get over fragrance most of the time. When it's flowery, not really. I prefer it to be sweet of some sort, whether it's fruity or, vanilla cupcakey. I mean, at least that I'm used to that. This kind of like floral is it's too much. It's very distracting. It's a little too much. And then if I can taste it on top of it, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. Okay. The color, again, so pretty. So Your Lips But Better. But I think, I hate to return things, but I think I'm going to return this because I am never, ever going to wear this. And it's just too much. It's too much. Okay. I'm going to take this off, and we're going to play with the Dior Addict Lip Glows. Okay. So the first shade I have is number 11, Rose Gold. And I wasn't sure what was happening with these because I have an older lip glow color reviver balm, but apparently these have been reformulated. So, and I do remember what that one was like. It was definitely just sort of like a very lightly tinted. So I had the shade Coral. This is the older one. And I just remember it being very like a tinted balm. Like it was very comfortable on the lips, and I felt like it was, nourishing at the time, but I didn't feel like it did too much, and it didn't feel especially moisturizing. It was a little bit on like the waxier side. So I am curious to see if these feel different on the lips. So this one again is Rose Gold. Oh, there's like a slight mint to this. Sweet scent. I don't really taste anything, maybe a little bit. This Rose Gold has some shimmer in there, really pretty. I don't think I don't remember the old ones having this kind of like minty taste to it, which again, I'm not the biggest fan of. I can definitely stomach it though, unlike the Guerlain one, but the old ones did not have this kind of like minty scent to it. Yeah, I don't smell it in this one. Other than that, they kind of feel very similar. So I don't know what the claims are with this new formula, but it does feel very similar to the older one, except for that mintiness. That's the only detectable difference for me. And obviously the shade. All right, taking off this rose gold so we can go in with the other shade that I got, which is number 20, Mahogany. And this is a little bit of a deeper shade. This does not have any sparkles in it, but if you see any sparkles on my lips, it's left over from the rose gold. So I was hoping this Mahogany was a little bit more of just kind of like a deep brown, but it's more of like, there's a little bit of berry to it, and it's a little bit brighter than I thought it was going to be. Even in the tube, it looks like it's going to be a little bit deeper. I mean, I know these are kind of sheer, but I thought it was going to be more brown. And then this one's like minty sweet flavor scent is more subdued than the rose gold. Yeah, it's much more subtle than the other one. Huh, interesting. Okay, well, I'm not going to say that my lip haul was a bust, but this definitely not for me. And I wish they didn't put the mint in the Dior. I'm just not a fan of that. And I wish the Mahogany was a little bit deeper. So anyway, that is my Sephora try-on haul. I don't think I like this Fenty Eavesdrop blurring skin tint. Again, like I said, I think it's fine, but I just don't think it does anything for me. I think I just have a lot of other foundations that I prefer and I would reach for, and it's okay, but it's not blowing my skirt up. I love the Tower 28 products, the Bronzino, the blush, great. This Armani powder is really, really beautiful. I feel like this powder is what saved the foundation for me. I think if I didn't have something with this really beautiful kind of finish to it, I would just think that my skin looked really kind of drab, you know, just nothing to it, no life to it. So these three products I really like. Oh my God, the Danessa Myricks Illuminating Veil, so beautiful. But again, a little bit of micro glitter in there. If you're not a fan, just beware. This Circle Loco palette from Natasha Denona, I mean, the quality is always just so incredible. I wish I was daring enough to wear colors like these all the time, but I'm happy to have this for, like I said, to like add into my plenty of other boring palettes. It'll be fun to kind of spice them up with like a color here and there. And I really like this eye look. I definitely use probably the more subdued shades in the palette, but I really do like this palette. It just works beautifully. Oh, it's just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Fun palette. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am about to run to Best Buy to get my Dyson Airwrap. Let's hope they price match. And let me know how some of the things that you got, how it turned out for you. Let me know definitely if you purchased this, what you think of it. I would love to hear your thoughts, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.